We are getting to that point where my hair has reached semi-freeform looks, and I'm okay with it.
Look, I got a star.
Hi friends, welcome to episode 130 of the Quirky Monday Craftcast. My name is Caleisha and you can find me anywhere online as Tamy. Thank you for coming to spend some time with me today. I really do appreciate it. If you're a returning viewer, welcome back. And if you are new, welcome. I'm glad that you have decided to come hang out. I also hope that you find something here that you enjoy and can connect with. So, I like to start out my videos with bright spots. And this week we do have a lot of bright spots, but I'm not going to read all of them like I did last week. There was a shout out though that I wanted to make, and of course I didn't screenshot it. Why would I do that? That would just make things easier. So last week when I was reading the bright spots, I encouraged everybody to go into the comments and celebrate with one another on the positive things that were happening in our lives, you know, as a group. And so many people did that. I'm seeing many more people like thumbs upping other people's comments and commenting on the comments. I think it was, yes, it was Annie. I started going through the comments probably a day after I posted the podcast last week, and Annie had gone and commented on every single person's bright spot, and that just made me feel so good because, you know, the person who posted that was not only sharing it, but also getting feedback from someone celebrating with them, which is like what I really want bright spots to be. So shout out to Annie for being my bright spot and celebrating everybody in the comments. Y'all, like, she went and celebrated everybody. Everybody. I loved it. And I saw some other people doing the same thing, which just warms my heart. That is what bright spots is about. It is about sharing your joy, but also enjoying someone else's joy. And sharing that back with them, and just, you know how if you hold a mirror up in front of another mirror, it just kind of creates an infinite amount of reflections. That's what I want bright spots to be, an infinite amount of joyful reflections. So, all that to say, our bright spots for today. And I'm just going to quickly read a few of them. Bright spot. The weather is a little cooler, so I rode my bike to work this week. And second bright spot, I'm knitting a gnome and it is so cute and I really love the whimsy. Bright spot. My daughter got married today, August 15th, with only family members and 3 close friends in attendance this time of social distancing. A family friend offered up their beautiful front yard garden in order for this special union to take place. I will be eternally grateful to our friend. Today is the happiest I've been for a long time. My heart is filled with joy. Bright spot. Despite my severe disability, I managed to travel with my 10-year-old boy to visit my parents who live in Oxford, UK. Bright spot. Every morning when I get up, I harvest cosmos flowers to dry and dye with later. They are joyful, tons of orange blossoms, and I love spending that time with them each morning, admiring and and appreciating and collecting. And those were just a couple of the bright spots that are shared in last week's comments. Definitely go and read through the comments, celebrate with one another, because y'all, the more joy that we can put out in the world these days, the better. So I challenge you all, be agents of joy. That's what we're trying to cultivate here. Viral happiness. All right, so that is everything that I wrote down for admin. Let's jump into some crafty things. So I have a finished object. Yay! And I'm sure you guys know what it is because it was so close to being finished last week. It is my Speckles and Spice top by Tamy Gore. I wove in the ends. I finished it. I wove in the ends. The only thing I haven't done was another steaming. But here it is. It is finished. I am excited. There is the back. There are the short rows. Hunty is done. And yes, even though, can we do this? No? Okay. Even though I went down I think I went down a full needle size for the plain stockinette, it's still bowed out when compared to the color work. So when I steam block this, I am gonna like straighten this edge out on both sides. But yes, I love it. I don't know, excuse me, I don't know when I'm gonna wear it. But because it is short sleeved and this yarn is an acrylic cotton blend, I'll be able to wear it whenever in Florida. I'm very excited about that. So yeah, I love it. 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 So last week I shared a picture of half of my sweater lined up next to half of the pattern sample, so that you can see what the difference is in my color work compared to the original pattern, which is basically all of this is not supposed to be there. So this is the original pattern. This is Caleisha about to run out of like the gray yarn. This is my second ball of gray yarn that was so kindly given to me. Saved the day. Totally saved the day. And color-wise, like color choice-wise, everything up to here is correct per the pattern. Here, the light blue was supposed to be gray, but I was running out, so that's why it's just light blue all the way through like that. But yeah, man, she done. She finished. Oh, so exciting. I went on and on about it last week, so I will not do that again this week. However, I am extraordinarily proud of myself for finishing this project, for getting through the color work, for persevering through the 3 color work charts. It was a challenge, but it was a good challenge, like stretching. This was a pattern that really stretched me, which I really appreciate. So that's my finished object. And of course, when you finish something, it is customary to just start something else, as opposed to, you know, finishing the things that you're already working on, because you're already working on them and you probably should finish them before you start something else. I didn't do that. I started a new pattern. So let's go on to works in progress. So I started a new short sleeve sweater. I don't know who decided that the thing right now was going to be short sleeve knit sweaters, but so many of my favorite designers are putting out short sleeve sweater patterns, and I am here for it. As your resident Florida girl, I am here for it. So I started the Minty tee, which is a pattern by Noma and Ndlovu. And let me not snatch my needles out. This is how far I have gotten. It is a circular yoke. Yeah, circular yoke, short sleeve knit sweater. It is meant to be striped, but I'm just making it yellow. Because why not? And this yarn is the Reline Cotton Linen Blend yarn by Lion Brand. I got a couple balls of these from Joann's, I don't know, maybe a month ago when this pattern first came out, and I was like, oh, this might be good for that. And after swatching, I pretty much met gauge. My stitch gauge is right on. My row gauge is a little bit bigger. Yes. Figuring out gauge is always a little bit confusing for me. But I have less rows per 4 inches than is required. So, but most of the pattern is written to where you work until a certain length. So that's fine. This yarn is 53% cotton and 47% linen. And this is the colorway Mineral Yellow. I recently went back over there because originally I'd only gotten 3 skeins. And after my Sparkles and Spice, that's what Tammy Gore said I should call it. But my Speckles and Spice, after that, those shenanigans with that gray yarn, I decided to go back to the store and try to get my hands on some more skeins. I picked up 2 skeins, I bought them, I got home, started knitting on this. And then yesterday, a little voice came to me and said, Caleisha, check the dye lots. And I was like, oh no. But then I looked at it and all of them are the same dye lot. So hooray. That's wonderful. So I have 5 balls of this. Definitely enough to make this sweater, especially since all of this is the first ball of yarn. And I have this much left. So yeah. And I made myself a little sparkly progress keeper. I'm going all matchy-matchy on here. But I ordered some of those, what would you call them? Like little globe charms that have like glitter in them. You probably can't even tell what that is. But it's a little, use your hand. There you go. It's yellow glitter stars inside the glass globe. I don't know why that was so hard, guys. I don't know. Anyway, I ordered a bunch of these on Amazon. And now I have matchy-matchy things. So I have been knitting on this during my work when I have meetings and stuff, because a lot of it is just round and round. And right now I'm over 200 stitches on my needles, so I can just knit while I'm listening to people talk about new students who are getting admitted into the program. Yay! Education! Minty tee. Definitely like it so far. The only difference that I did modify the pattern just a smidge. I did a 2x2 rib. It calls for like a 1x1 twisted rib, and I don't like twisted rib. I think I have 1 pair of socks that I've ever made with twisted rib, and don't like them. Don't like them. So I did 2x2 rib on here. I could have done 1x1 regular rib, but I did that on this sweater. Like, as you can see, it's 1x1 regular rib, and I don't like 1x1 either. I am a 2x2 rib girl. Comment down below, what is your favorite rib pattern? I should say all of my vanilla socks are always 2x2 rib, 100% of the time. The only time that there is ever any kind of deviation from that is when it has to do with the pattern. So yes, Minty Tea by Noma and Ndlovu. Really like it. Very simple. Might need another one, to be honest. Because you can't have enough short sleeve sweaters when you live in Florida. I am a firm believer. Side note, there is another short sleeve sweater design that is being released. Well, it's out for testing soon. I cannot remember the name of the pattern, but I'll put it on the screen. And I saw the testing call for it on Instagram, and I commented, and I was like, oh no, I can't test because I have too many other things that I'm doing, but I am totally going to be here and ready for purchase when it's ready, because short sleeve sweaters. Am I right? Yes, I am. Yeah. So that is the work in progress that I was working on quite a bit today. Today has been a higher anxiety day, so there was some knitting and some deep breathing and a lot of self-talk. But I don't have the labels to these. This is my next work in progress. One of my friends messaged me because she is pregnant and asked if I can make her a baby blanket. And I said sure, and asked her what color she wanted. She said pink and gray. I asked her if she had any special designs that she wanted, you know, if she had any preferences or if it was maker's choice. And she said, maker's choice, I trust you, do what you do. And I was like, bet. So she just said she wanted it to be something squishy and soft. So I got this yarn, which is Bernat Baby Blanket Velvet Baby. I don't have the labels. I took the labels off and they're all the way in the other room. I will put it on the screen, but I just got the pink and the light gray. And what I'm doing, because I wanted it to be a mindless project, because I don't knit and crochet for other people a lot, because I just like making things for myself. It is what it is. I like making things for myself, and I like making things for like my mom. You know what? I'm sitting here like I don't knit and crochet for people a lot, when last week I showed y'all 2 dolls that I'm making for these 2 little children, and like every so often I'm just overtaken by the desire to make things for other people. But most of the time I make things for myself, unless it's the holidays, and then everybody gets handmade things, because handmade holidays is what's up. Anyway, so I wanted it to be a just autopilot pattern that I can just go with, and that is the granny square. But I did not want to make a giant granny square, because I was like, that's kind of boring. You know, it was just going to be striped granny square. So I decided that I wanted to do a corner to corner granny square. And this is how much I have. And you guys have no idea how satisfying this right angle is. This right here, oh my gosh, when I stretched it out and it laid perfectly square like that, just so good, right? Look, it'll even just fit in the, oh, get it together. Oh, perfect. Boom. I love it. So, originally I was just going to keep striping, like doing the two row stripes all the way across. The finished dimensions that I'm going for is about 40 inches by 40 inches. And this right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, this right here is about 10 inches. Well, I think it's 9 inches because I think each one of my stripes is an inch tall, like on the straight side. But yeah, so I was just going to increase and then decrease and be done and have just the plain striping going through, but I don't think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to put some thicker stripes in here. Maybe do like a thick stripe of pink and then go back to the little stripes and then do a thick stripe of gray and then go back to the little stripes and then a big stripe of pink and then little stripes. You know what? I think that's what I'm going to do. Yeah. I'm going to draw it out first just to make sure I like how it looks, but I really like this. I have not made a baby blanket in a very long time, probably 3 years. The last person who I made a baby blanket for, their child is definitely walking, talking, and making decisions right now. Yep. But I'm enjoying this. I like the yarn. The perks of doing the granny stitch is that I don't have to really be able to find a stitch. I just feel for where the spaces are between the clusters. So because it is such a fluffy yarn, the stitch definition is like not there, but I really like it. I went down a needle size from what it calls for on the label, because I used, I think, a 5mm when I first started, and it just looked really loose and airy, and all I could see was like little baby fingers getting stuck in there. I mean, I guess baby fingers could get stuck in this one too, but it would be harder. I don't know. But I like that this is more condensed, you know, more solid. The stitches are closer together, and that makes me happy. So, I am just carrying the yarn up the side on this side. And yeah, just working away. I am feeling it though. I tend to crochet, you know, sitting up and not have my elbow resting on anything. So I'm holding it up, and I find that my elbow starts to hurt a lot if I'm crocheting for a long time. So I'm trying to get in the habit of putting pillows under my elbow when I'm crocheting, or if I'm sitting in a chair with arms, to rest my arm on the armrest. That's what it's called, right? Whatever. Rest my arm so that it's not just hanging out in the air and being under all of that tension. Because I want to be able to crochet for a really long time, right? And when I get to the point where my elbow is really bothering me, then I can't do anything. And that's no fun. So, yes. So that is a project that I'm working on. I'm using a 3.75mm hook with this yarn, and it's working out pretty good. There is no way that I see currently right now that I'm going to use up all of this yarn in this blanket. So I figure with whatever is left over, I'll make her a baby hat. Because babies need hats, right? And like, if you have a baby with a matching hat and blanket, that's just cute. And I'm here for the cuteness, right? So yeah, those are my works in progress. Let's talk about maker plans. Now, I know I just said that I'm not really the kind of person that makes a lot of things for other people, but I'm making another thing for another person. So I put a picture on Instagram of this this rainbow wall hanging, which is crocheted, and my sun weaving. And one of my friends commented on it and was like, oh my goodness, where can I get that rainbow? And I was like, it's there's a pattern for it, I can make you one. And she was like, yes, please. So I'm gonna be making this pattern. It is by Bloodymoon.Crochet, and if you go to their Instagram page, the instructions for this are in posts in the feed. So you can see like step 1, do blah blah blah, step 2, blah blah blah. So I'm going to be making that. Now, fun fact, I told her that I would make the rainbow, and I was like, cool, yeah, so when I was writing my show notes for today, I thought, let me go ahead and gather the yarn so that I can have it all together. So I go looking in my drawers and my little storage bins, and your girl does not have a full rainbow of the acrylic yarn I wanted to use. Well, your girl doesn't have a full rainbow of like anything except for like a sock yarn. I do have a rainbow of a sock yarn, but that's not sock yarn. That's worsted weight. This is the only worsted weight acrylic that I had out of that rainbow. Who am I? What is happening? So, I mean, okay, that's not entirely true. I do have gold. I have gold, but I wanted like a bright yellow. I have a sky blue, but I wanted like all of the colors to be like, Crayola crayon rainbow. And I just was shocked and appalled at the fact that I did not have these basic colors. Like, I don't have orange. What? Orange is one of my favorite colors. How do I not have orange? What is this? Who am I? What's happening? So we're going to straddle into Stashquisitions because I rectified that. I went to Joann's today and fixed my rainbow problem. So now I had to buy like the whole middle of the rainbow, and luckily these were on sale for like $1.99, so I'm happy. So now I have my Crayola rainbow to make that. I kind of wish that mini skeins were a thing. Like, mini skeins of worsted weight yarn need to be a thing. Just saying. Because I could probably make like 20 of those with this. But it's fine because now I have these colors. I also got this one for the rain. And I know I have white somewhere. But how I'm just not going to have these colors? How do I not have orange? How? But anyway, I believe that I have these basic colors somewhere, and I have just like cleaned up. Y'all know what I mean when you clean up. Yeah. But yeah, so now I can actually start this project and be good to go. And I also, the sale, the $1.99 sale, oh, I didn't tell you what kind of yarn this is. This is Big Twist Value from Joann's. The $1.99 sale was going, or is going until, I think, Saturday. So I took a picture of the whole selection so that I can take an honest look at my stash and see if there are holes that I need to fill in, because yeah, I don't want to come to a situation like this again where I want to make something and then I don't have like any of the supplies. I'm still tripping out because I don't have anything orange. I think I have maybe 2 skeins of orange yarn. 3. There's 2 over there. They're fingering weight, not sock yarn. And then there's 1 in the other room where with my bookshelves, and that one is sock yarn. Whomst. Anyway, so I will be starting that. I kind of feel like just knocking this out tonight, if I'm honest. But speaking of this rainbow, when I was on my way to Joann's, there was an amazing rainbow outside. One thing that I love about Florida in the summer, in the rainy season, is that because it is raining all the time and also sunny, there are so many rainbows. There's like at least a rainbow every week and a half, at the very least. But they're more frequent than that. But this one, so in my car, I have one of those little dashboard sticky things to hold your phone. And I put my phone in there. And I came around the corner and I saw the rainbow. I was like, oh, look, a rainbow. And then the sun got brighter. And because the sun was more intense, the rainbow got more intense. And I also want to say that if your phone can do voice activated photos, that is the best thing. You can just sit your phone up and just be like, cheese, and it'll just take a picture. So I was driving down the road going, cheese, 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 so that it could take these pictures. But look, oh no, you have to look at that. Really? Oh my goodness. It's so amazing. Maybe if I darken, nope. I want you guys to see how vibrant, look at that, how vibrant that is. It just looked like, is there a cartoon where like the cartoon characters like slide down a rainbow? Like this looked like a rainbow slide. Like they were just gonna slide right down into, like into the street. Well, not the street, because the rainbow actually ended next to the street. But so good. And then we got to a point where you could see the whole rainbow. So you could see the whole thing arching over the road, and then faintly above the bright one, was a second rainbow. And I love seeing double rainbows. Like, rainbows by themselves are magical, but double rainbows, it's like, okay, where's the unicorn? So excited. Loved it so much. But rainbows all the time today, evidently. All the rainbows. But yes, we're going to move this collection. Now I got to find somewhere to put these. Yeah. Oh, I got it. Okay. Stash positions. I do have another stash position, which I did not bring in here. So I'm going to run and grab that, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Found the stuff. So I did a swap with Nina of BrujeriaLana, and I sent her some things for her, some things for her kiddos, and she sent me some natural dyeing supplies. And some yarn. So if you do not know, Nina has the yarn brand BrujeriaLana, and she creates these really awesome colors. And for me, yarn colors are not the... I don't fall in love with a color so much as I fall in love with a story or a reason or something like that. And her tags say BrujeriaLana, hand dyed with magic and intention. And this particular yarn she showed on her, or this particular colorway she showed on her Instagram, and it's called Flicker. And when she talked about her inspiration for Flicker, it just really resonated with me, as the idea of there always being a flicker of light in the darkness. And if you are a longtime viewer, I have spoken before of my experiences with depression and how that can feel like an all-encompassing darkness. And the idea that there is light somewhere has been and continues to be something that I really hold on to. So when she came out with this color, I was just like, take my money, I'm gonna be there. So she had, I missed her first shop update because I missed it. I missed the announcement on Instagram. And then she started dying for her second one. And I was like, oh no, I'm about to be there. I set an alarm. I set, you know, my, like 5 minutes before alarm type thing. I was ready. And still got carjacked. You know, that's okay. But she was kind enough to send me 2 skeins of Flicker, and this is on her wrist base. It's fingering, 70% superwash merino, 30% nylon, and yeah. So don't mind the Kiva bits, the Kiva hair that has gotten on this, even though this stayed in the box. Dog hair is like glitter. I'm serious. So Flicker is basically a black base yarn with just occasional yellow orange flickers. And y'all, when I opened the box and it was in there, I just felt so like warm. Is that cheesy to say? Like, I felt like she considered me. And I really appreciate Nina, aside from the fact that she's just a really, really cool person. She shares so much information about you know, causes and things that are going on. She is very vocal about the things that she believes in and actions that can be taken to make the world better, right? And she was actually a huge help to me in my last shop update, because I did a shop update and I did not know that Etsy was having major issues to where I put 11 bags up in the shop and only one of them was showing and all kinds of stuff. And I'm just like, what is happening? And she and I were actually messaging back and forth, trying to figure out what was going on. She was trying to access my shop from different browsers and devices and things like that, and giving me feedback on how it looks to the customer. And I just thought that was really amazing for her to take that time and help me solve a problem. Like, who am I? But I really appreciate how she interacts with people. I really appreciate the space that she takes up. And I messaged her the other day and I was like, dude, you know, it means so much to me that you sent me this flicker yarn because of everything that that concept represents for me. It's not even about the yarn, you know, it's just about the fact that someone else thought about me and wanted to do that. You know, someone wanted to share that spark of light with me, and she was like, oh, no. But yeah, guys, if you have somehow not come across her Instagram, her website, her shop, definitely go take a look. She's pretty awesome. She also teaches yoga classes online. So if you are not able to go to your yoga like studio or anything, or if you want to try yoga for the first time, I definitely recommend her. I had not done yoga in a good year and a half when I took her class, and I did not feel like I was in over my head. I did not feel like somebody was just, you know, calling out random Sanskrit words to me. I really felt like she was walking us all through this yoga practice, and I really appreciate the way that she did that. So yeah, I need to go to another one of her classes, but I always forget. Like, I always realize that she had a class too late. Like, for instance, today is Thursday, and she had a class which would have been, I think, 8:30 my time, which is when I started recording this. I'm always doing something. But anyway, if you are looking for an online yoga teacher, definitely check out Nina. I will link her information. Finger guns. But also, in addition to the flicker that I just waxed poetic about, she sent me some natural dyeing supplies. And I have never used any of these, so I'm really excited. The only natural dyeing that I have done successfully, put quotes around that, successfully, was avocado. And I got like a pinky tan color. Yeah, I don't think I've dyed successfully with anything else. I tried dyeing with pokeberries. That did not go well. That was all user error. And I'm really sad because evidently the pokeberry bush just decided not to come back this year. So that sucks, because that pokeberry color was like pink, like loud pink. But yeah, in here there is black walnut, madder. Well, black walnut will dye brown, madder will dye red, weld will dye yellow, and then in this little box there is indigo blue. Yeah, indigo blue. And then there's all of these other mordants that are in here. So there's alum, which I have some alum somewhere. It's probably the same place with my orange yarn. But there is also gallnut, which is a mordant for cotton or linen before alum and weld. So very interesting. I'm going to have to read so much. Calcium carbonate for, it's an alkalizer for weld. I don't know what that means. It is also an alkalizer for madder. Oh, there's also gallnut for madder. So evidently you can use gallnut as a mordant for cotton and linen before you use the alum with weld and madder. what's this? We got citric acid, neutralizing rinse after indigo, and it also will be a color shifter for madder exhaust bath. Huh. And you use that on unmordanted wool. So much science in this. Who were the people that first came up with all of these dye techniques? That's what I want to know. How did you get there? But she sent me a couple cones of I think she said this was non-superwash wool. So that's going to be fun to experiment with. It's 2-ply, and yeah, I'll hold it in front of me so that it doesn't just disappear into the white wall. But she sent me 2 of these, so I'll be able to do lots of experiments. Wouldn't it be so cool? This is Caleisha coming up with an idea that she probably won't do, but it's still a really cool idea anyway. Wouldn't it be so cool to be able to naturally dye a range of colors and then knit like a color work thing out of that yarn and those colors? Right? Am I right? I know. That would be great. So yeah, lots of things to play with. And she sent me those after we had a conversation about my desire to get the avocado pink color. And yeah, so fingers crossed for the avocado pink color. Fingers crossed for these other natural dyeing experiments here. I think, let's see. So there's a couple people online who I know are a wealth of knowledge when it comes to natural dyeing and natural dye experiments. Of course, there's Marce of Hey Brownberry. She does a lot of natural dyeing. I actually have a skein of yarn from her, which I am hoarding. Just call it what it is. But it's like a pale gold color, and she got that color by using pomegranate. There is also Adrian of the Freakish Lemon. He does so much natural dyeing. He even grows his own, like he has his own dye garden, which is really cool. So I think it was last summer, I think, that he did an experiment where he cataloged all the different types of dyeing that he was doing, which I really appreciate the methodical way that he went about it. So I was able to, I think when I come to actually diving into this, I will probably look back at his videos to get a baseline of, you know, what you can do, because it's so informational. And then there was, there is Adia Jamille, and she is on Instagram. She's on Instagram, and she recently did a class of African dye techniques. She did indigo dyeing, mud dyeing, and I think there was another type of dyeing that she did. But just, she shared her process through that on Instagram as well. And it's just really amazing to me the variety of colors that you can get from nature. Like, if you know what to do and what to look for. It's so cool. So cool. But yeah, those are just a few of the people that I can think of off the top of my head that do a lot of natural dyeing and that have information that they can share with you, if that's something that you're interested in learning. So that is everything for Stashquisitions. I feel so out of breath, y'all. Anyway, we have a segment coming back to the podcast, and I am so excited to bring this segment back for you guys. And it is Black Fibers, Black Threads. I have not had a Black Fibers, Black Threads segment on this podcast probably in about a year. And I'm really excited to be able to resurrect this segment with this particular person. The person that I wanted to talk about is Darcy of DarciDoesIt. And particularly this project that she's taken on, I think she's been doing it for a couple months. Yeah, for a couple months now. Honestly, what is time? Who knows? It could have been 1 month, could have been 2 months. She's been doing it for a little while on Instagram. But what she's doing, or the way that she started, was it's a photography project of Black knitters, right? So she started out reenacting images of Black people knitting that she found online. And when I tell you that she reenacts, she like finds ways to replicate the outfits, the poses, everything. She did one of Sojourner Truth, which I thought was really cool. And then in her Instagram page, she does kind of like a breakdown showing how she got, how she dressed herself up to look like the photo, right? So it started out with her recreating images of Black knitters, but then it kind of shifted, or she shifted it to take pictures of non-Black knitters and recreate them as a Black knitter, which I thought was really amazing, and also pointed out the fact that when you search for, you search knitters online, it's very, very far, like few and far between that you will see Black knitters. And sometimes even when you search Black knitters or African American knitters or something like that, it's a few pictures, and then a lot of non-Black, non-African American people will come up as well, which is a little confusing, but whatever. So I really liked the project that she was doing. Now, one of the other things that Darcy does in this project is not only recreating the imagery, but she also ties in like Black history information. And it's not that run-of-the-mill Black History, like Black History Month blurbs that you'll get in like public school sometimes in February. This is, you can tell that she really researched what was going on at this time, or what would you have seen at this time. The most recent one that I saw that she did was a recreation of a photo of Audrey Hepburn. And she talked about, the setting of the picture, but then she also went and talked about what was happening with Black people in this area at that time. And when I tell you, I have learned something new in every single one of her posts. It's amazing, and it amazes me that there's always something new to learn. As a good thing, there's always something new to learn, but at the same time, it's just like, wow, so much of history is not spoken about. It's not taught. It's not passed down. It's out there, but you gotta chase it down, right? And I just really appreciate her for taking on this project, and for taking this particular action as a Black knitter in this way, So Black Fibers, Black Threads started out as me looking for people of the African diaspora doing things in the fiber world, because, you look out and it's very much we're very much not represented. So I wanted to see what our contribution was. And when I started researching this, when I started looking for the handprint of Black folks in this area, I was discovering things, you know? And it's one thing to look at it like that and to see what Black people were doing in this area, but it's another thing to say, this is something that I'm interested in. I like knitting, you know? So I want to recreate photos of people knitting. But while I'm recreating photos of people knitting, here is some important information about Black people that was happening at the same time that is relevant to the picture of people knitting. And I really like how she has created that intersection and how she is presenting it on Instagram. So I don't even know if Darcy watches this, but if somehow you come across this, Darcy, thumbs up for what you're doing. I really appreciate it, and I hope that you are able to continue this project. And it's just really amazing, and I really enjoy it, and I am always, you know, edified and educated whenever I see one of your posts come up. Darcy does it. And I think that brings us to the end of the crafty bits of today's podcast. The last segment that we have is Plant Mama Life and Whatnot. And there's not a whole lot happening in the Plant Mama section, but Life and Whatnot has basically been, Life and Whatnot of this past week has basically been the energy, y'all, has just not been there. And I don't really know what's causing it. A couple days ago, I posted on Instagram that I was having trouble sleeping again. Like, I tell you guys, I feel like I was like a cartoon. I laid down in the bed, I closed my eyes, and I was like, okay, we're gonna go to sleep. Had my eyes closed, I'm like breathing slowly and breathing deeply, trying to relax myself, and then my eyes just popped open like freaking daisies. Just boop, we're awake, we're not closing, you need to be awake. So then I got up, I made myself a cup of tea, I sat and I knit on my Minty tea. But needless to say, that night I think I got 3 hours of sleep. So the next day my energy was off because I hadn't rested, and I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. But one of the things that I appreciate about the way that I interact with my energy, if that doesn't sound all woo-woo and weird, is that I realize I'm very conscious of when there are shifts. You know, I'm very conscious of where I am mentally, how I'm feeling. I may not know what is causing the shifts or what they stem from, but I feel them happening. And I do a lot of checking in with myself. So like, for instance, today, earlier I said I was feeling a lot of anxiety today, and yeah, so just kind of checking in with myself, trying to figure out what is causing that anxiety, and also what can I do about it. If there isn't anything I can do about it, then take a deep breath, drink some water, let's try to focus on the next task at hand. If I need to take a break, take a break. It's fine. Everything is okay. And that's the kind of talking that I do with myself a lot. But specifically, I think it was Tuesday. Either Tuesday or Wednesday. I, again, was having a very anxious day, and I took a break from work. It was Tuesday. I took a break from work and I went outside, and I just wanted to kind of sit near my dasheen plants because they're really big and they're really just, they take up a lot of space, and it just makes me feel good sitting near them. And I had just bought them some new pots, so I thought, okay, I'm going to go ahead and pot them up during my break and my lunch break. And the simple action of sticking my hands into the soil was, it felt good, which is really weird I don't know what that's about, but whatever. I'm here. Mother Earth was like, just, you know, stick your hands, hold my hands. Hold my hands, said Mother Earth. So Caleisha stuck her hands down in the earth, and it felt good. It felt good to have dirt under my nails and dirty handprints on my pants because I'm trying to lift this giant plant out of its little pot. And then it's hot outside, so I was sweating, and I guess, you know, a little bit of physical action or exercise or whatever, something science, something brain, something feel good. So I repotted both of those plants, and I did feel a lot better after I did that. So I am just in love with the idea of me taking care of the plants, but at the same time, the plants are taking care of me in a way. I know. But yeah, so that's what's been going on in life and whatnot. Just really trying to manage the ups and downs. Another thing that I have been trying to manage is Miss Tootie, because if you follow me on Instagram, you will know that homegirl has developed this fear, this complete fear and anxiety revolving around thunder. If she hears thunder, she's like terrified. Matter of fact, I took a picture of her today. There was like one small like roll of thunder afar off. Like you could barely even hear it. But super ears evidently heard it clearly. And she looked like this. And it made me feel really bad because she just looks terrified. So her fear of thunder has extended to rain, because when it rains, she knows thunder is happening. It has also extended to anything that sounds remotely like thunder. So my neighbors work out in their garage and they do deadlifts. That terrifies her. Lamar was bringing our trash can in from the street and it was rolling on the concrete. That terrifies her. She's just a huge ball of anxiety right now. So she has basically been my shadow. And where I normally work at the desk in front of my bookshelves that you guys have seen before, the last couple days I have been working in here, you know, sitting on the bed with Toot next to me, like curled up, either sleeping or looking terrified because it's raining. And it just makes me so sad. My poor little pumpkin. So if you have any suggestions on how to soothe a scaredy cat dog, leave those in the comments, please. And Miss Kiva, she normally doesn't feature on my Instagram much because she don't be doing much. She just lays down in her bed in here, chilling. She'll get up and walk in the living room, lay down in her bed in there, and be chilling. And that's about it. She go outside, she sit down, she just watches whatever. She's 100% an old lady right now. She is unbothered with any of these shenanigans. However, the other day I walked into the room and I looked down and I had one of those pop-up mesh hampers with some clean clothes in it. Why did this dog climb in the hamper? I don't know how she got in there, but she got in the hamper. She got comfortable in my clothes and was snuggled up, just snuggled up. And I was like, homie, get out of my clothes. And she just looked at me and was like, nah. And closed her eyes again. I was like, I cannot. So I dumped the hamper over. But, yeah, man. They make me happy. My little dogs. I am so happy that I have these dogs. I'm glad that I did not get rid of Tootie when she ate up all my shoes when she was a puppy and I was puppy sitting her. I'm glad that Lamar did not let me get rid of her. because I wanted to. Tootie was almost out the picture, y'all. She was almost out the picture. But that is everything. I hope you're having a good day. And if you are not, I hope that you hold on. Just keep holding on. You know, look for that one spark of light. Keep looking for it. Thank you so much for being a part of my universe. Leave a comment down below of something good that happened to you. Leave your bright spots. And also check out other people's bright spots in the comments. I love, 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 love that you all are sharing your bright spots again. And it's so awesome to see all the different types of good things that are happening to people. And the things that other people want to share. Yeah. So leave a comment down below of something good that happened. And I will see you next time. Bye, friends.